Hey there, how are you doing? This is Star Pen. I'm your leaky gut coach and the creator of the JIA Blueprint. And something that we desperately wish for and hope for, but that a lot of times for many of us, it turns into this endless cycle. And that's this idea, this hope that our child will eventually be in remission of their juvenile arthritis and they will no longer need meds and can go on and live their life happy and healthy. Have you had that happen? Have you ever, been in that situation where you've been going to the doctor and been getting on the methotrexate or the biologics or something like that, and your doctor says, hey, look, they're looking really good. We're going to take them off the meds and see how it goes. And have you ever had that be the end all be all of the situation? Or have you, unfortunately, like many or most or all of us, experience a resurgence of flares and joint pain or another immune issue altogether? Well, unfortunately, that usually is the case. And I wanted to explain to you the reason why, so that way you can be empowered to do the things that you need to do in order to get this completely reversed once and for all. But before I go ahead and do that, I would like you to please subscribe to my channel. Please like this video, share it with anybody who you think it will benefit, because we really need to get this information out there. Okay, so let's say you've been on medication for your child's arthritis, and the medication is working wonderfully, it's doing really well, and your doctor decides to take them off the meds, and you are what the medical community calls in remission. So first, let me explain what that is. In remission, which you might already know, but in order for me to get to the understanding of why our child's flares keep coming back, or they develop another autoimmune issue after the meds are taken away. So as you're very well aware, the medication, the wonderful medication that is used for to address, not treat, but address juvenile arthritis and other autoimmune diseases, are these biological medications. And they're ones that they take the immune system and they stop the immune system from attacking that joint or tissue. And so when the immune system stops attacking it, we don't see a flare anymore. Now, we may be led to think that the reason why there's no flare is because the medication is working. It's working in the sense that it's stopping the immune system from going after that tissue or joint. But what we very rarely fully understand is why the immune system is going after that particular joint. And a lot of times what we're led to believe and told is that the immune system's overactive. And for some reason, it's seeing a very healthy tissue as an invader in the body. And so it's attacking it. And really the immune system's the problem. It's attacking something that it should not. When really in actuality, what's going on is that toxins have gotten into your child's joints via the gut, out into the bloodstream, and being attracted by the fatty tissue in your child's body. There's these toxins that are inside your child's joint. And so the immune system is actually seeing these toxins. And it is, in fact, the immune system's activity of cleaning out these toxins that can create damaged joints and tissue. So we really do not want this whole entire thing happening. But unfortunately, because what we're doing is we're just suppressing the immune system, we're not doing anything about the fact that the toxins are in the joints. We're not doing anything about the fact that additional toxins are getting into the bloodstream and into the joints and other healthy tissue and organs in our child's body. And we're also not doing anything to clean out the toxins that the medications that we're using have gotten into our child's body. So while this whole entire scenario is something we absolutely do not want happening, what we want to understand is really what the medication's doing and why your child is now in remission. So in remission, right? Meaning that, okay, the medication's worked. The immune system is no longer attacking those joints. And so we're going to go ahead and start to wean off the medication. Something very interesting to note is that if an adult has arthritis, this is never something that's considered. I don't know if you're aware of that, but When an adult has arthritis and they're on a biologic, the doctors keep them on the biologic for life. But with children, they are sometimes very much under the impression that children can grow out of their arthritis. And so they hold out that hope of removing the biologic and trying to see, what happens after that. And that's really where we want to explore and say, why is that? And so the truth of the matter is that our child could very well, because they are so young, their body could very well stop. That area in their body could no longer be a source of inflammation. But what we want to really, truly understand is that the disease doesn't just disappear magically. Again, this is toxins inside their joints that have gotten there via the gut, which is leaking. And so if the gut is still leaking, if that has never been dealt with, then we can be sure that there are toxins still in your child's body. But what ends up happening is that our body is going to prioritize things that are of higher importance, higher levels of concern. So in the meantime, while we've suppressed our child's immune system and we've allowed more toxins to pour into their body, by the time we come off the meds, the immune system is pretty beat up, and it takes some time for it to start revving again. But we hope that it does, right? We want our child to have an immune system. And when it does, and it does start revving again, it might actually find a toxin somewhere else and focus on that area more so than the joint. It could very well be that during the time that our child's immune system was suppressed, that this fatty area of the body, which holds onto toxins, was able to release them and was able to get them out of the body through the liver, through other detox organs undetected, because the immune system was suppressed. And that's really what we want the body to do. And while kids are young, they might still have some of their detox capabilities. So that way it was a good thing, right? While the immune system was suppressed, the body was able to release this toxin. The body was able to get it out of the body. And so now when we come off the medication, maybe that particular joint, maybe there are no toxins there anymore. It could very well be. And that's just a testimony to how wonderfully made the body is and how it can heal itself. But what we really want to know and understand as moms, parents, caregivers, is that the medication alone, suppressing that immune system alone, is not going to put our child in a healthy state. So we really want to understand what this term remission really means and what it means for us and the work that we need to do to actually reverse this disease. Because if the root cause has never been addressed, if the gut is still leaking toxins out, and all we've done was stop the immune system from being able to go after these toxins, we have to logically know that even if in a Hail Mary that this particular joint was able to release these toxins and the body was able to get them out of the body, that there absolutely are toxins in other tissues and organs in their body. And that's why sometimes parents will say, well, we got this flare under control, but now it's in his finger, or now it's in his toe, or now it's on his knee. And it's like they think that the disease is hopping around. That's not what's happening. What's happening is the body, maybe in this particular joint, because that's what the body does, it holds on to toxins and then it gradually releases them so that the body can detox of them. And that's what our bodies are doing 24/7 all the time. In a perfect world, our children wouldn't have this juvenile arthritis because number one, their gut wouldn't be leaking toxins into their bloodstream and their joints wouldn't be grabbing onto them. But our bodies can handle a ton of toxic load because that's what those fatty areas do. They grab them like magnets and then they slowly release them out, and hoping all of our detox organs are working, then we're never even aware that our body had this issue at all. So, but unfortunately, what ends up happening is this vicious cycle starts taking hold and we get inundated with all these toxins, and then the body can no longer detox them properly. And that's why When we come off a biologic medication, the flare may come back in the very same joint. We may get a flare in a completely different joint, or our child may develop another autoimmune disease altogether. And none of these dots will be connected for you. And that's why I'm here telling you this. Telling you, number one, it's all one thing. Number two, the root and how these toxins have gotten there. And really why it is, if it ever seemed a mystery to you, why it is that a child can be in remission and then something else happened and something else happened and something else happened. We're led to believe that we have a sickly child, when really, in all actuality, we have a very healthy child, a child with a very healthy immune system. And it is going after toxins that it sees in the bloodstream, sees in an organ or a tissue, and it's doing its very good and noble job. So when our child, the best thing to do when the medications are working or when we get off the medication, anywhere in that time frame, once we know these very simple truths about autoimmune disease and the root cause of it, is we want to be doing the work of sealing and healing the gut. The best time to do that is when the meds are working, right? Like when we're at peace. If we don't fully understand what the meds are doing as our helper and what's really happening in the body, we can have this false sense of security and think that, oh, the meds are working, I don't need to do anything, let's go about our lives. But really, that is the time when we want to really focus on sealing the gut. We really want to focus on repopulating it. We really, really need to focus on detox. We need to do all of these things during these times of peace, because all too often when I get a call from moms is after the fact, after all these things didn't work and we're in a second and third flare and things have gone so far. It's much harder emotionally to do all these things that we need to do to heal our child's body when we're in a heightened state of stress and when we see our child in pain and when they are actually physically in pain. So while you're on the meds, if they are doing what they're supposed to be doing, or while you're in remission, if the immune system is still not going after anything in the body, this is the time to do the work to repair your child's body. Again, we do not want to wait until they're in pain to start to do something about it. It just makes things that much harder. So I hope this information was helpful to you. I hope that it can be helpful to somebody else that you know and love. Unfortunately, so many children are starting to suffer with very serious autoimmune issues, and juvenile arthritis is ranking very, very high among them. But I really do hope that this information empowers you and gives you clarity and gives you the direction you need, so you know what it is that you need to do right now in order to reverse your child's juvenile arthritis. Thank you so much. If you have any questions for me whatsoever, you can reach out to me. You can go to my website, www.leakygutcoach.com, and I would be happy to guide you, direct you, and give you any additional support that you need.